All right, welcome to the weekend video here. This is Enda from bullwebs.org. I'm going to look at the markets across the world from an Elliott wave perspective, and then, if you like what I do, head over to bullwebs.org, check out the membership options, drop me an email, and we'll see what we can do for you to get on the website, join the website, and get nightly Elliott wave updates. All right, I'm going to go through the FX market first. Dollar FX, and from there we'll work through whatever else is going on. Okay. Here's euro dollar. This is go to the daily count. This is the wave C down that I've been tracking. So it looks like we've got a wave 1, 2, 3, working on wave 4, and then down into wave 5 of C. So here's the 4-hour count. You can see wave 1, 2, 3. Wave 3 low actually broke the minimum low. So the minimum target was about 104. We broke through that, and now we're bouncing off that in a fourth wave correction. This fourth wave is getting a little bit more complicated as the days go on. And then once we're finished here, we'll go down in wave 5. And here's the hourly count. You can see 3 up in A. We're looking for some sort of a flat here or an expanded flat in wave B. And then later next week, a rally again in wave C, probably towards about 107. And then we'd look down for wave 5 to begin again. So overall, next week, still, we're going to be stuck within a correction, I think. And then look down, maybe towards the end of next week, look for wave 5 down to begin. We'll see how that goes. Okay, here is cable. This is the daily count. You can see wave 1 up is done. Wave A, B, C in wave 2. And we're tracking this C wave down in wave 2, just like in euro dollar, except in cable, we have not hit the minimum target here. So equivalence in the equivalent pattern in euro dollar means or has broken below the previous wave A here. You can see about that'll be equate to about 120 in cable, but we have got nowhere near that just yet. So if this pattern is correct, we still have a long way to go here to the downside. You can see the short-term pattern here on the 4-hour count. You can see we're tracking higher in wave 4 of C. We've got wave 1, 2, 3, and 4 done. And then we should head lower again in wave 5. And the hourly count, you can see this is the fourth wave broken out. It's pretty much the exact same pattern unfolding at the moment. You could make an argument that wave B is in place and we're working higher in wave C right now, but we'll see how that goes today. I would like to see it turn down today into wave C of B, and then later on, towards maybe the end of Monday or Tuesday, head higher again into wave C. So that's the idea here. We'll see whether that plays out this week or next week or not. Okay, let's move on. Dollar yen. You can see that little big B wave top came in at 156.73, let's call it. We're working lower in an impulsive pattern, so it's a C wave decline. So ironically enough, it's a very similar pattern to what's happening in euro dollar and cable, except we're heading lower, all of them heading lower at the same time. You would not expect, but that's exactly what's going on. The correction here, a fourth wave correction within wave 1 rather than wave C. So this would be wave, if we get one more drop below, let's say 148, that'll be wave 1 done. So we have 5 waves down into wave 1, and we look for a pretty sizable correction higher in wave 2 then. For early next week, I'm still looking for this fifth wave to complete. It would be nice to see if this look yesterday the action looked pretty corrective. We have a lower high, so it may be some sort of a wave 1, 2 pattern. We will see. Wave 5 down should trace out 5 waves. So the the other idea here would be that wave 4 is actually tracing out some sort of a triangle, maybe. So we could have wave A down, wave B up, wave C, D. Yeah, we'll see. It might clear up by the end of the day. If the range continues to correct or contract and we go sideways again, around 150 over for an extra day or so. That would suggest that wave 4 is actually tracing out a triangle here. From there, I would still expect one more low in wave 5 of 1. So we'll see how that goes next week. You can see here on the daily chart, the Dow, wave B up is now very close. Wave C of B is very close to tagging that upper trend channel line, that long-term trend channel line there. We've broken out above the trend channel for wave C. So wave C here should have been bounded by this larger trend channel here, but we broke out of all sorts of reality over the last 6 months, and we are now tracking this wave C of 5, or wave 5 of C pattern higher. We are actually skirting 2 lower degree trend channels here. So wave 5 trend channel has filled, and the larger wave C trend channel has filled. The previous wave B trend channel has been broken out of, catapulted out of so far. So you could suggest that this is a major throwover. You have the previous lower target here at 162 extension for wave C, or sorry, for a wave B in red. That'll be the 162 extension of wave A decline. So you have that wave A decline. Wave B up reach if it's an expanded flat, wave B up reach the 162% extension of wave A, and it did that, and it corrected and then blew up above it, and then corrected and then blew up above it again. So we are, extended beyond extended here at this point. This week's trade has actually been pretty, muted, to say the least. There's been very little action at all, to be honest. I was suggesting that the only buying that was actually going on is probably robo buying. So as long as those algorithms are suggesting that you should buy, or the marginal share should be bought, well then marginal share will be bought. But even that steam has been kind of dying out this week. We haven't seen a kind of a halt at a top at any of the previous, what's it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all this year. Well, the previous fourth wave there, maybe. For most of this year, the previous 7 tops anyway, we haven't seen this kind of plateau type of action. So let's see, maybe there's something different going on. Different action suggests something different might be going on. So, obviously, if wave 5 is in place, then we are looking at a reversal. But I've looked a fool often enough here to kind of use caution before bouncing on that term again. The pattern, the hourly chart, a possible 3 waves up in wave 5. This kind of dead air pattern here is really hard to read as anything really, to be honest. But you could have a 5-wave pattern into this week's high, even though the action is so very bounded altogether. If that's the case, if that is the case, then today should be a down day, maybe even break below this rising trend channel here. And if that happens, then we'll look towards next week on building some sort of solid pattern lower. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, let me get a drink here. Now, you can see this wave A and B pattern here has held so far. Looking for a wave C decline. which has been anything but actually this week, to be honest. It's been a pretty sideways week. So for wave C down, we should see a 5-wave pattern lower. I'm working at 1 degree lower here, so sorry, I confused myself there. For wave C down, we should see 5 waves down. And, the action this week has been corrective. It could be a second wave, or it could be a series of second waves as we turn down into wave C. So this is it's still open for debate here. I can't exactly put my finger on it, to be honest. I was suggesting a break of 2600 again would really favor the idea of a third decline. So let's stick with that. 2600, we see that level go again, then it'll probably be indicating that wave 3 down is underway. We'll see how it plays out. Overall, next week, I would like to see this continue down into wave C of A. So let's see how that plays. Okay, crude oil. The action is still pretty well. Overall, I think this week is the word of the week is muted. A possible wave 2 in blue in place, looking for a third decline. That third of a third decline will be pretty much confirmed with a break of $64 again. That would break the wave 1 low. Excuse me. Wave 1 down off of that possible second wave. So that'd be a running flat wave 2. Wave 1 down off that. ABC expanded flat wave 2 in wave 2. Sorry. And then off that we've had a decline again, which has broken to a new low. So overall the pattern is creating new lows, but we haven't any confirmation yet. So, the initial level to break would be 66.50. That'd be previous wave 1 low. So let's see if wave 3 can break through that today. Overall, next week, look for further declines in wave 1 of 3. Okay. The S&P, you can see the price has and is skirting just below that upper trend channel line again, just like in the Dow. We have this wave C trend channel. It could be wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe some sort of wedge pattern, maybe a trumpet pattern. You can see again the gains that were made today were pretty the gains that were made this week, forgive me, were pretty robotic. The internal pattern here is very hard to discern, to be quite honest. We've got a fifth of a fifth, which has wave 5 in green has broken out above the upper trend channel line here, so you got to throw over. So wave 5 has broken the trend channel for wave C. Go back to the daily count again. Depending on how you take it, that's a best fit channel and I'm going to continue that channel. It has broken out above the Elliott channel. So you can see that Elliott channel here. So wave 2 and wave 4 connected and extended from wave 3, and we have a throw over above the upper line of that Elliott channel. You can see that the larger channel there, the price is almost using it as a support as the market has kind of climbed its way up into this fifth wave. In wave 5 blue, again further channels, you can see that the internal pattern here is quite difficult. Well, I'm finding it quite difficult to actually make any real sense of it. If it's a fifth wave in blue, then you would expect some sort of pretty decent 5-wave internal pattern. The action this week has not kind of borne that out, to be quite honest. But you could also make the argument that this is kind of a momentum death ongoing. So, the volume of the market has been declining, the breadth of the market is way down. The S&P has been held up by those top 5 stocks again. I think I saw a chart earlier this week that took out the top 5 stocks, and if you take them out, then the market actually has been trading lower all week, substantially down, to be honest. But here we are, we're standing. It's a weighted market. It's not we have what we have. This is the patterns should bear fruit anyway, no matter how that market is weighted, the internal setup of it. If this is wave 5, then we should see an end to it pretty soon. Sooner that happens, the better, to be honest. Okay, on silver, this 1-2 pattern has borne fruit this week. We have 5 waves down. We have a possible expanded flat correction in wave 2. Expecting this to complete today and then head lower into wave 3 next week. The action is getting pretty skittish up above that, up around that wave A high again. So 3150 seems to be marking a type of resistance to wave C here. Excuse me. I was suggesting a top for wave 2 between 3150 and 3226. So that'd be the 50% retracement at the upper line there. Wave A and that 50% retracement should offer enough in a way of, let's say, target and form resistance to top out wave C and then head lower into wave 1 next week. So 3-wave pattern completing in wave 2, and then we head lower into wave 1 of 3 next week. And that is that. If you like what I do, head over to bullwise.org. Check out the membership. Get yourself nightly Elliott wave charts and updates straight to your mobile phone or your computer. That is that. I'll leave you with the good news. I always end each of these. I think I kind of sabotage my business, to be quite honest, but I always end each of these Elliott wave updates with the presentation of the good news of the Messiah. It came 2,000 years ago. We are heading into Christmas again. Christmas is not a pagan festival. It's a celebration of the light of the world. So Jesus said, "I am the light of the world." And he came to this earth to die for our sins. And that is what we call the gospel. The good news is that someone paid for your debt, your sin debt to God, your creator. Someone paid your sin debt already. It was the Messiah. He was promised in the scriptures. He came, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. And then he rose again from the dead, proving that your sin had been paid for and proving that he had no sin of his own. Because the wages of sin is death. So if you have sin, you will die and you will be separated from your creator eternally. And if you accept the Messiah, your sin debt will be paid. It's that simple. It's a simple trade, if you want to call it that. How fitting that word is for the audience that I'm speaking to, the unreached audience of the trading community. You want to trade your sins, trade your way up from a dismal, torturous eternity, tortured by fallen angels and demons for the rest of your life, your eternity. Trade that for a eternity in a perfect creation with your creator, in perfect harmony with your creator again, where your sins have been paid for, and you will be a new creation. So that's that. That's the trade you have to make, and if you don't make it, well, then you won't be going. So I would urge you to do that. Okay, that's that. I will see website members tonight or early tomorrow morning, depending on how the journey goes later on. And we'll take another stab at it again next week. All right. God bless. Godspeed. Bye-bye.